Is this going? I don't understand how OBS works. Hold on, somebody share this. Hold on. Copy, close. Does this work? Oh, no, don't talk, Shady. Okay. Am I here? Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Where's Joey? That's a good question. Okay. I don't know. I just tried to. Something changed OBS and YouTube are they're trying to connect in a really smart way. And I guess it's going. Okay. So everyone's here. Okay. Hi. Yeah. So I just poured my heart out to you right there. Okay. So I know that. I mean, I have so many mixed feelings about this. I've always kept this project secret because it always seemed great, but it also seemed kind of dumb. I mean, I tried to take every convincing angle to try to show you why I think this is the greatest idea I ever came up with. And I feel like I leave the live stream. Yeah, I'm not going to take the live stream down. Yeah, so I didn't talk about this project. I wasn't like going for a mystique angle or anything. I just didn't want to talk about it. But I hope you see why I set everything up so I could. That video was still 37 minutes, despite the fact that I had everything. You know, I had all the concepts in prior episodes in the series and everything like that. It still took a while to explain it. So, yeah, like I've been setting up this video for a long time. I guess I could have skipped straight to it and hope I was speaking your language. I don't know. Probably would have been all right. But yeah, I really finally feel caught up with you guys. You understand? Like this has been on my mind for years, and I just haven't talked about it ever. So, I mean, I'd have a little bit, but you know, at best, people had those samples you just saw. It's really about it. But like explaining the tree, because I have actually heard, you know, some people thought about like the diverging tree getting out of control versus, you know, is it just a quiz? Like I needed to explain everything. No, it's actually like it works really well with the game. How everything just dovetails perfectly. If this thing actually existed, it would be the best thing ever. And like I said in there, I think the content would end up being, I said in there, 3 to 5 times that of a typical series. I think that's, you know, it's big, but it's not astronomical. It's not impossible. And my own experience has told me the problem is not the initial generation. The problem is the rework. The production flow was just bad. And I know now the pitfalls of like this as well as Space Quest. I talked about it in both of them. Those were my learning experience of how not to make content because I had to redo so much stuff because, you know, things don't work. I mean, you know, a blatant example of, you know, I talk about consistency. Like one example of inconsistency is like, imagine if, you know, on some timeline, I thought I talked to some character already, but I hadn't. And then I go talk to him and I speak as if I'm talking to him again, but it's actually the first time. That would be an example of an inconsistency, right? So it wouldn't be that bad, but you know, that concept of, you know, you got to keep all the consistency straight. It's not even just consistency, but just anything, any sort of storytelling you're making at any moment in your content, it needs to be something that makes sense. And I would realize when I look at things a second time, be like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I would do these reworks over and over again. Because yeah, I didn't separate the concepts of design and production enough. I would come up with an idea and I would make it. And there's a benefit to that because, you know, you have an idea in your head, you think it looks good, you need to see it on the screen to know if it actually works. But I went too far with cleaning that up perfectly instead of, you know, just doing a basic storyboard or whatever. So that's the thing. Like I've learned so much now where I can look at what I did before and what I can do differently and say, here are a whole bunch of ways I can make the production faster. MIDI library is a great example. I was making the same mistakes with that as I explained in the Space Quest video. That was another video that was kind of setting up this one. I was doing all sorts of chicanery with the music to get it to work. Whereas now I have this library that's just drag and drop. And the library is actually really cool if you ever want to see it, because I actually have like loopable wave files. Like you can actually take a wave file, like any track from the game. Yeah, I have a wave file that if you put it on loop, it'll be perfectly smooth, like no pops or anything. But it will also dovetail, like if you wanted to fade it out, there's another one you can put there and it'll also be smooth. I have this modular library thing that's actually really cool. That's why it took a while to make. It was actually kind of a fun puzzle to solve in and of itself, I guess. It did take me a couple months, but it was fun. All right, so I thought we were on Twitch. Yeah, we are. I'm going to go back to Twitch when I play games again this afternoon. But since this is about my YouTube project, my main YouTube channel is about my YouTube projects, so it's more relevant to that. Okay, so let me catch up on some comments here. Nice video, but the name Red Pants? I don't know. Maybe it'll be forever a mystery why it's called Red Pants. Seen finished games with branching options that fail to be consistent. Yeah, well, you got to try as hard as you can. Like, there's always going to be a bug. I actually just realized, like, a few minutes before this premiere, like, I record all my commentary and all these separate files, and I put it together in a hard drive. That video is just straight up missing a line. I recorded a commentary line, and it didn't make the timeline somehow. It just skipped from sentence, it went, A, B, C, D, F. Like, there's just a sentence and there's a straight up missing. It still flows fine. That's why I didn't notice it. It was just funny. I realized, when I was putting the subtitles in, I was like, oh, this part of the script is not here in the video. Where is it? So that was funny. So you probably won't be able to tell where it is because it's not something that's, so you gotta just try your best, I guess. So, I mean, when I try to scope it out, like, I think, if it was, say, 30 hours, like, that to me is a reasonable length for something that's big. Like, it's not something that can't be done. Certainly can be done. And productivity sped up and slowed down. At the height of productivity, it was going pretty fast, and I was having a lot of fun. That's kind of what happened. Like, I got lost in the project. There was a line in there I said, I didn't realize it, what I had done, just like ignoring everybody. I just got so absorbed into what I was doing. Just like, I was just wake up every day, and when it was time to be on the computer, I was like, oh, let's make another video on this, and because a lot of them would be really short like the one you saw. And so, things could go really fast. Obviously there was just a lot. And then of course the problems emerged. So it would go up and down. That's why you got to have the smooth design so that you can go at a more consistent pace. Even if you never go too fast, you never at least go too slow. Do you ever test Red Pants on something smaller? I actually have thought of that, but I never thought of like a good scenario that was multi-thread. You say the ending of Exile. I guess there are 2 winning endings. That's the other problem, right? Is that, how much is viable? I mean, the thing is, the game, King's Quest 6 had its own checkpoints, I guess I didn't have a test audience or anything, but I could tell that, like, there would be milestones in the game where I could get each path up to a certain point and be like, yeah, everything's pretty much together here. Like, this is obviously the playthrough keeps going, but it's, you know, it's a milestone. Like, there's kind of a checkpoint here. The other thing I don't want to use my best commentary for. Yeah, and then there's obviously the biggest issue is the actual solution for putting buttons on a video, which I don't know. Like, I think about like Jonathan Blow, like, just comes up with a, you know, time rewind idea, and he comes up with a 2D projection of witness lines idea, and he gets them done. You know, Elon Musk says, let's go to Mars, and he gets it done. And I'm like, hey, let's put some buttons on a video that link to other videos. No, Shady, that's too ambitious. Nobody can do that. Really? Like, I have a hard time believing this. It seems like it's got to be possible. I mean, I have different ideas. I didn't want to dwell on it in the video because I wasn't really committed to anything. I think I wanted to just say the important things. It was really more about the history of the channel, my ambitions, and things like that, which is why I wanted to have this to really kind of spitball about possible solutions or things that are ridiculous and don't work. But I mean, you know, in an extreme case, okay, this is a DOS game, right? Like, the problem with video is that video is data intensive. Like, videos take a lot of space on your hard drive, especially if you want them to be good quality. But at the same time, this is just one idea. You know, I record my DOSBox videos using the ZMBV codec, which is, for DOS games, you know, lossless, pretty much perfect quality, and yet they're tiny files. Like, if I'm playing a pixelated game and these were tiny files, even 30 hours of material would be like 10 gigs. At that point, could you make a downloadable program? It wouldn't even be on a website. Like, and these were just tiny video files where you just had that, whatever that program, that interface is with the buttons, just right in there. Again, this doesn't sound impossible. It sounds relatively simple, right? So if that program had its own video and button interface, and then you had, you know, your own branching tree. Again, I don't know how to do it on my own, but it can't be that big a deal, right? If it's that and that, then you could do like another option you could put in there. You know, if you unlock a video, you know, maybe it'll go to a YouTube version, and that'll be a higher quality version, and that'll be it. That'd be your whole thing. And it would, obviously, being, you know, a downloadable program, you could save your progress and everything, right? You wouldn't have to worry about getting lost in the unlisted tree on YouTube and lose your place, right? This gets into weird fair use territory. Why? It's not any different. It's actually less than, like, it's actually weirder to monetize gameplay videos. No, he didn't. He's trying. He's trying to go to Mars. Whatever. Yeah, so I mean, you know, you got the King's Quest remakes, which are direct ripoffs. Those got published. Those are free. Whereas this is, I mean, beyond clearly transformative. It's beyond clearly transformative to me. I don't even see how being a game is a problem. I'm not selling it. Thanks, Andrew. Same to you. So, I mean, the final conclusion I made on this whole thing was, I mean, I'm not going to do anything on it now anyway, and I haven't in years. I would love to find a path to do it now because I think I know so much more now. I know how to avoid all the prior pitfalls that it would be great to get another chance. What are we playing next? All right. Well, the video is up. You can go watch the video. Oh, that means now I can swap out. I can do that real quick. Let's give it the full thumbnail. That one right there. There you go. Yeah, so what was I saying? Where's the close this thing? Yeah, so the thing about fair use is that it's supposed to be transformative. And this is, I remember, I think what you're saying, Jim, was something when I first posed the idea, I think it was to Dreamwalker here. I think he said kind of the same thing, where you guys seem to act like it's more of a problem. But I think that's why I was trying to say things explicitly like, yes, some of the choices correspond to the choices in the game, but I said specifically in there, I'm not putting a choice in with every action. In fact, it's not even close. Like most of the time it's you select an island, I do everything on my own on that island. Everything that I'm going to be doing on that trip, I do as just part of my series. And then I just come back, open the map, and you select the next island. Like it's not nearly like the sample I showed you was, it had, the crossroads and the doors there. But that's kind of a rare exception. That's not, it doesn't actually do that. It really, most of the time, a lot more is done between choices because, I mean, it is a fairly long game and you can't let the choices branch out too much. In fact, there are even times where I don't even want you to make a choice on the map and it's too obvious where to go and I don't want to make a bunch of wrong choices. Like, I mean, there are definitely 30 to 45 minute videos in there. There's a huge range in how long these videos are. If all other things being equal, what do you call an estimated time frame for this project implementation? Okay, so if, let's say, I didn't have to worry about anything, if it was just about design and production, if my role in the project was to write the videos and record the videos and maybe, program where the buttons were, but I didn't have to actually make the program to host the videos or whatever. If that was somebody else figured that out. If I was just the raw video content, trying to think of how long other things take, because I don't want to give too optimistic an answer. But if I was doing nothing else, see, the thing is, I haven't done like nothing else on a project, like just focusing on one project and not doing other projects. I've never done that. That's the other problem. Well, not since Exile. So I mean, I think I could get all that stuff done in 3 years. I mean, 2 years sounds pretty ambitious to get 30 hours of all written and produced. But at the same time, I know that I've gotten, I can get a 3 or 4 minute video, just, I mean, I've like that part, that page 2 that you saw, like that, I did that couple days. Like, I think because obviously I needed to edit the timing of the lamp seller to actually interrupt me at the most inappropriate time, right? So there was a little editing there, but so I mean, I don't know how to multiply it all out, but I mean, because even then, it took me, what was it, late 2011 to late 2013. So yeah, in 2 years, I had 100 videos with a whole bunch of reworks. The stupid reworks. That was the crap. And the other projects, because I kept taking breaks from it. So yeah, I mean, my goal would be 3 years, but I would have to map out, like I would probably, what I would do is I would need to design it first. And I would really want to get in the lab and not worry about too much production and just get a much more fleshed out design start to finish. Before, what I would do is I did have it in my head, but I wanted to make stuff first and then kind of build off that, because that's how I made the linear series. Like, I would always have in my head where I was going, but it wasn't as locked down as it should have been. So I'd want to have more of it locked down kind of evenly across the timeline, maybe some flexibility instead of locking this down completely and being, this open. It should be like everything pretty much locked down, but everything a little flexible. It's a much trickier art to do. Once I have a design plan, though, and kind of have a good idea, because even just having a script, I can already estimate how long the videos are, right? Like even this, when I make a Shady Paradox file video, like, I pretty much knew the length of it when I wrote out the script, because I know how fast I talk. I just saw the length of the script. I was like, okay, this is going to be, I think I worked it out. I think I said it was going to be a 37-minute video, and it was. So, once I know how long the video is, then I can kind of say, okay, if I make videos at this rate. So I don't have the perfect answer, but, kind of, I guess the most basic answer I would say, see how much I can get done in 3 years. I think that's kind of reasonable for both design and production. So at this point, the script had also changed a little bit, I guess, because, I would be a man in his 40s, not his 20s, right? Like, such people tend to talk a little differently. I try to word things pretty densely in the files. You might miss some points, but maybe you just have a really fast brain, so I shouldn't underestimate you. But yeah, I try to make a distinct point with each sentence, because I don't like wasting time reiterating the same thing over and over. like right now you can see I'm just rambling. I'll repeat myself, but in those videos I want to make sure I make every point once and in the proper order. Hello once again, Longfoot. So let's see. 25 minutes. Really pushing that. We could talk about what to stream next in a minute here. Is there any more to address with this project right now? I mean, let's see. Let's look at the Discord here. Swarm approves of the idea. So are there any other concerns, questions, ideas off the top of your head about the project? Any maybes? I feel like there's more than one way to get it done, actually. It wouldn't even be like expensive. I don't know. But I mean, I could be a fool, but it doesn't seem that hard to me. Like even when the annotation system existed, even then I was thinking this annotation system is clunky and awkward and I wish I had a better way of doing it. So, I mean, even though I could tell it was going to go away, and so it took away the certainty path, so it's bad, I still would have rather... I mean, yeah, I still would always rather do something else with it. Yeah, the alt tech, I mean, that's one of the things that's kind of disappointing about alt tech. They seem to be... I don't understand why nobody remembers the old cool features. Yeah, they really let us on too, because they said they were actually upgrading annotations, but then they just gave us end screens. That was their upgrade. Their argument was nobody clicked on the annotations, which is dumb. Like, that's just such a great example of just overvaluing statistics. Like, and maybe you can still do this if you have the annotations restored. I told some people about that. I put it in that meta series. But like, you know, some of you may know about this. In my Myst 3 series, at the end of Idana, I look back at the start and I say, hey, look, I see another adventurer arriving there. Wave and say hi. If you click over there, it warps you back to the earlier part of the series when I arrive on Idana. But it's a hidden button. Like, you're not supposed to find it. I mean, it contributes to YouTube going, oh, well, this has a 0.1% click rate. Nobody clicks this. Let's get rid of it. It's like, they weren't supposed to find it. Just because the number's low doesn't mean it's bad. Yeah, we have very Orwellian definitions of upgrade now. But yeah, like my examples of the Jonathan Blow stuff, like, I feel like both of his features are more complicated than my feature. Buttons on a video? I mean, heck, like, when YouTube did have the annotation feature, you could, instead of using their annotation editor, you could use like these XML. You could upload an XML or into it using some Grease Monkey authentication key or whatever. And I mean, even I was able to write a tiny program. I don't know why I picked this language in Java, where I could tell it. It was this little GUI I made where I could type in, the size and timestamp for annotations, and I would be able to copy and paste annotations, because the annotation editor on YouTube did not have a copy paste feature. Whereas, when I say like hovering a button over the same hazard every time you're on that screen, you would want a feature where you could copy paste that button on a bunch of spots. So like I could do that. My little dinky program would do that. Like it would just save, the box or whatever, and I could just type in new timestamps. And so like I had an interface where I could have, a video. It wasn't a video player, but it was just, a list of annotations that would have, timestamps and pixel coordinates, both, the location and the size. So there's location, size, timestamp, duration, right? Like every box would have these properties, and you just make a list of them. You just hit the buttons to duplicate, save buttons, all the basic things. It just worked like a little interface, and it had bugs. It did stupid things because I wasn't a good programmer. I am not a good programmer, but it did the job. Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it'd be that hard. All right. Well, that's my opinion anyway. At least it's out there, right? I'm not thinking of it myself. Maybe one of you 2 years from now will be like, hey, I just learned how to program, and I realized I can do it in 4 lines of code. So what are we all fretting about? Here it is. And then I'd be like, hey, thanks. All right, I can do red pants now. Because I'm not going to do it right now, but it's, yeah, I want you guys to think about a solution, because I don't. I'm busy working on something else. But also I just, I said it right at the beginning. I really also wanted you guys to just know what was going on, because that's just important to me now. The Shady Paradox files has really helped me just clear the air. Everybody knows everything going on. The only thing you guys don't know now are the other ideas I have for future projects that I am also excited about. But instead of being like the Space Quest project where I just started it, which had kind of mixed enthusiasm, that's why I want to make one more Shady Paradox files video. I want to pitch these. There are 3 more ideas in my head. I may not make any of them, but I want to pitch 3 more ideas and just kind of like what I did with Red Pants here, just give you an idea of what it is and just kind of read the room on it. So that'll take more time, but I don't mind it, because I'd rather do that than, open a project and feel like I should finish this because I said I would. But also, fewer people care about it, right? Like, instead of guessing, they're more. They are also ambitious projects. They're not like, standard Let's Plays, which actually I had that idea too, maybe I should, make a standard Let's Play that has no ambitions whatsoever. It's not really something I'm interested in, but just to prove that I could do it, so that, to anyone who thinks that, because I haven't really made a Let's Play, I would even say, since Real Mist. Like, even the Exile one was kind of different, but I would say that the Real Mist one was, pretty standard Let's Play. I could probably make something good if I didn't insist to be great, optimal, have scripted character, or script a character, anything like that. If it was just kind of the standard expectation, if that's what you wanted, I could pick a game, do that, something basic, something simple, but something good, enough work. It's another idea, just to have something. Yeah. YouTube, a platform for the people, for sure. They actually said they removed the dislike count to protect small creators. Yeah. When something says 3 likes and unknown dislikes, that's a lot scarier than 3-0, which is what it probably is. I don't know. To protect small content creators like HBO Max. Yeah, well. Yeah, we had talked about this last time. Or I guess it was probably during one of the Lighthouse streams, right? Did I have anything more to say? I don't think so. Yeah, so I might make a standard let's play if I just lowered the bar and just even forget the character, just, pick a game that I don't like. I showed I said explicitly Curse of Monkey Island is bad for a scripted commentary series having a character, something like that. I thought about Grim Fandango or something. Some game that would not work with a character. Just maybe make a basic low-key let's play of it just to have content that wasn't a stream, that wasn't as spontaneous as this. Because I said I always like to go the extremes. Go big or go home. Either make a full-on scripted commentary series or just stream it. But if you like the let's play format, I might do that. I don't know. Something. Maybe. Anyone excited for that? No. All right, I think I've said all I can say for now. So this stream is as long as the actual video, and I've said probably about a quarter as much. But the same things a bunch of different ways. So I guess let's get back to games. I know Renee's preference. Maybe I'll switch back to Twitch and we can discuss it there. I don't know. Because this is gonna stay on my YouTube channel to talk about projects. All right, so let's go back over to Twitch and I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want Real Miss 2000 other people? It does have the rhyme age. But yeah, let's go back to Twitch. All right. Bye YouTube. Link to Twitch down below.